23, check. Let's see. Okay, hi, I'm Glenn at COAF Field Team. In this round, we got a few things that we want to bring up. Specifically, they stocked Bethany Lakes, our local lake, local pond, and yours truly was able to do a little fishing, and I ended up limiting out. And what I want to do is just, well, tell you a few things about what happened and what we saw. And I got a little video, pretty much unedited. It's just going to go right through, and maybe I can stop here or there and discuss what I saw or did. Okay, and before I start, let me just do a quick howdy on the chat. Howdy. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us today. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me take you to scene 1. Right there. Excuse me. All right, let me go ahead and run the video, and I can explain what's happening. So, let's see. I got the tag there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so they're at the parking lot at Bethany Lakes.
Looks like they stopped.
Yep, and it looks like some folks did come out there and do a little fishing. There's a fair amount of folks out there.
Really biting it, so
All right.
I'll go back to natural.
Yeah, I couldn't get here earlier, so I figured I'll just check it out.
Stella, come here.
And I'm getting a heads up from one of the individuals out there who's fly fishing that we've met over the years.
In the middle.
It's got some great info.
He's good. It was a little bit more crowded earlier.
Yeah.
There was probably twice as many people on this road. And
Oh, wow.
I had to wait for about 30 minutes just to get a spot to cast.
Wow.
But yeah, I think you came at the right time.
All right. I'm gonna walk around and see.
Yeah, check it out.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Some good news. We got some trout in the pond and they're biting. And picked up some pointers from some folks that already caught a few. And it looks like they're hitting trout bait, corn, as well as naturals. So I just brought the super dupers and the bait finesse stuff. Just kind of walk out here. I'm not sure where they release, but it's kind of crowded over there, so we'll just come over here. Let's see what's happening over here.
So what I've done is I've gone to the far other side of the horseshoe pond. I could see trout moving about. Did talk to one individual who said he did catch one, and I do see some trout moving about. So hey, I'm gonna give it a try. It's just gonna be very tough with all the brush and trying to cast with my big finesse systems fishing gear. And unfortunately, there's going to be one point where I'm going to have a big bird's nest, and I'm going to have to take some time and make some adjustments and get it dialed back in, adding in some additional line, because luckily I brought some extra line. And what happened is when I do my side cast, you got to look very closely. Well, you got to be careful, because I hooked on some brush and sure enough had a really bad bird's nest. I am seeing trout moving about, but unfortunately what I'm using is a gold super duper. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get a strike on it, but unfortunately, I'm not. I did make some changes, switching from different lures and whatnot, and I'll just speak to that as we go through the video. And then one thing to note is I'm varying the retrieve. I did a count, I did a immediate reeling in, I slowed it down, I sped up. Well, at this point, I'm going to be time to be switching to another super duper. Here, I moved to another section, and I don't know if I'll be on video here, but I'm going to getting a bird's nest, so bummer on that. See if I can jump across to some other things. Okay, I hear some folks talking. And again, I started out, it was fairly slow, just trying to figure out the pattern and whatnot. So far, a gold super duper. Later on, I'll switch to a silver super duper. And, well, not so great right now. Even though I am seeing some folks catching, they're using corn, they're using trout bait, various rigs, be it on the upper part of the surface as well as down below. Just in general, it looked like it's a good day for a first day of stocking. Okay, and then now I'm going to switch over to a rooster tail. It's that Fire Tiger rooster tail, 1/16 ounce. Works really well on the Bait Finesse Systems gear that I have. Just unfortunately, again, I'm not doing so well on this side of the pond, and having to worry about, well, getting tangled. I am gonna end up hooking on these brush, and it's gonna give me a big bird's nest. And then for those that are just joined, just talking about the day's fun at Bethany Lakes. It just got stocked today, and we were able to catch some trout. Ended up limiting out, but I did have to work at it to figure out what the pattern was. Actually going into when it was, well, after sunset. Here, I'm now switching from a gold super duper, trying different retrieves, and then I went to a rooster tail. Let me just jump ahead real quick. So right here, I believe I'm heading back up because I just got a really bad bird's nest.
This was on a rooster tail.
And then right after that, I got re-rigged, went to the other part of the pond, and let me go ahead and run that one again. Yeah, this is where I'm fixing the bird's nest. But, I get this one on that Fire Tiger rooster tail. Steady retrieve. I actually got like 2-3 other hits, but I didn't land them. But I'm casting out. You can see the individual standing here. I'm casting out right about here and closer. Getting that steady retrieve. I can feel them tap at it, but unfortunately my mojo's off. I'm not hooking them on that rooster tail. And I think there'll be several times where I'm going to switch in this session where I'm using both the rooster tail. I tried a black rooster tail. I tried a copper super duper, and I did get a hit on the copper super duper, but he threw the lure on me. See, downside of city local lake stock or large number of people fishing, concerned with, yeah, there was a good amount of people fishing, but luckily everyone was kind of spaced out, so I was still able to find a spot and do some fishing and actually get a limit in there. Here's where I missed one. So this goes on, and I'm trying different lures, different retrieves. I did pick up that the gold bladed Fire Tiger rooster tail was one to keep in your back pocket if need be, and then the black rooster tail, no hits. Did get one on the copper super duper, but he threw the line on me, or threw it on me. And then as things got darker, I noticed I needed to switch it up and try a different lure as well as retrieve. So I ended up just getting one here, 3-4 nips or strikes, and then one that threw the hook. And then after a while, I'll decide to work my way to the other side of the pond. I think it's going to be right over here where my cursor is. I'll end up going over there in a few. So let me just jump ahead. Yeah, okay, here we go. The Texas trout day limit is a limit of 5. You can get 5 a day. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can jump ahead to where I go to the other side. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I made my way. Earlier I was standing back over here. Now I've come back around the other side of the pond, gone to the little podium area, and I'm fishing this area. And I can see movement, trout activity, but I'm still having to figure out what the pattern is. And again, tried the gold super duper, tried the back to the rooster tail, and I wasn't getting anything. And I was thinking maybe try different color super dupers, different retrieves. So I went to a silver, I went to a gold, copper. Again, only had that one hit on the copper that threw it. And then eventually I find that, well, when we went to the Blue River the other day, that rainbow trout one was working for me. So I ended up going back to a rainbow trout, a super duper, and that's where I ended up getting a limit using that super duper. And I can see if I can speed up a little. Oh, there we go. So I'm casting it out, and I'm letting it sink just a little, and then I'm doing a retrieve, watching for the strike. And most times I don't think I got it on video of the actual strike itself. It was kind of slow in between, but eventually what ended up happening is they were hitting it soon after I cast, and as I was bringing it in on a slow retrieve, and then later on as it got darker, they were hitting it as I was letting it sink.
All right, rainbow super duper.
Yeah, I did lift my rod tip, and he hit.
And a slow retrieve. Very slow retrieve, holding it high.
And where I'm casting and getting consistent hits is back out here about mid-pond. And with that bait casting setup that I have, no problem casting that 502 out there. And you can see back over here in this corner there's some movement, and in the past I've known that this area usually holds some trout and usually doesn't get as clobbered as the other part of the pond. And let's see, I don't think I'm gonna get a hit, but you can see where they're moving about, and that's where I'm casting. And so as it got darker, the trout were hitting it as it moved slowly, and then as it kind of sank. So there was a couple times where I just let it kind of flutter downward, and that's when I was getting that hit.
All over the place.
Let's see if I can move it up here. And later on it's going to get dark where you won't be able to even see anything. But let me see if I can get the next one here. Oh yeah, there we are. You can see it moving around. There's one that just jumped. Yeah, it's starting to get dark now. And notice the retrieve, I'm actually retrieving fairly quickly, and I'm not going to get a hit. As soon as I switched over and started letting it flutter, that's when I got the rest of my hits. And I'm not sure I'm going to get an action shot of it, but to just describe it, I make the cast, and instead of reeling in as I am, I'm actually just maintaining the feel. I can tell that the lure is fluttering down, and I'm just barely moving it when I'm getting these hits. There you go. There's another one. There's that rainbow trout super duper. And again, these are all being caught as the super duper is fluttering down. And when I went back to this retrieve, nothing. And what I'm doing is I'm not getting any hits close. They're all in the middle. So as soon as I get it past that middle section, I just immediately reel in and cast it out again. Alright. So again, this retrieve is not what worked after it got dark. So I'll just describe it. Cast it out mid-pond. Engage the reel, but instead of reeling in, let it flutter. And just barely move it and wait for that tap. You'll feel a tap and then a good strike right after. So I ended up getting one on a gold bladed rooster tail, steady retrieve. I had several hits as well on that rooster tail earlier. Switched over to different lures with an actual one on the line with a copper super duper, but he threw the hook on me. And then the rest are being caught on the rainbow trout super duper, with the first two being caught with a similar retrieve as this, with the rod tip held high, and then the remainder being caught on basically as the
bigger one
super duper fluttered down. And see, as you can tell, it's dark now. Can not really get any more hits, or at least I'm not anticipating a hit. But as soon as I switched over, there we go. Right there.
Hit it on the drop.
Let me see if I can go back to it again. Alright, so this is where I'm just going to recast it. This is where I catch one again on that slow retrieve as it's fluttering down.
Bigger one.
And then this next one, let's see if I can describe it. So I've slowed it down. It's not that fast to retrieve. I'm just kind of maintaining connectivity with the lure itself. And right there, when I stopped and it fluttered, it hit.
Hit it on the drop.
And so I did that again and was able to limit out.
On the drop. In the dark, we're just going to cast it out, and what we're doing is we're letting it sink and then doing a slow retrieve in. So they seem to be hitting it as it's falling now. They were hitting it earlier. I did get one on a rooster tail, chartreuse rooster tail, and then rest have been on this baby. They get one hit on a copper super duper. Other than that, it's been this guy. Just cast it out.
Got it. No sound. Sorry. I keep forgetting when I switch to another camera, it'll do that on me. All right, so here it is. This is the rainbow trout super duper. That's what 4 of them were caught on to make that limit, with the first one on a rooster tail. This is that BFS gear, Bait Finesse Systems gear, and it's on the Shimano Scorpion 17 BFS XG, and then again that Bass Pro Shop Microlight $25 rod. All right, so that's all for now. I just wanted to do a quick live stream just to let you know that our local pond is stocked. The trout are there. It is pretty busy these next few days, so do get an opportunity to get out there. What worked for some folks today, it looked like corn, trout, dough bait, as well as different lures. I did see some folks using super dupers, as well as I thought I saw some others with inline spinners. And then from a fly fishing standpoint, from the one individual we talked with that we've met over the years over there, he suggested some naturals this time, which is kind of different because normally you don't get them right off the bat with naturals. They're usually going for those other lures. So hey, keep that in your back pocket. See, going again tomorrow morning, but should be more. No, I gotta go to my day job and knock that out, and then maybe making another run to the blue this weekend. Just gonna have to play it by ear with the rain and whatnot. All right then, all for now. And do reach out if you have any questions, comments on what worked for me today. I can definitely tell you what was working and some of the adjustments. Key again, when one lure is not working and you've done different retrieves and different variations of it, presentations, then switch to another lure and then keep switching till you find out what that pattern is. So I started out with the gold super duper, nothing. Went to a rooster tail and got a hit on that one. Gold bladed fire tiger, which has some chartreuse and orange to it. And then I switched over to a black bladed rooster tail, no hits. And then I switched to a copper super duper. Did have one on there, and it threw the line on, or threw the hook on me. And then after that, I tried different lures again, silver, gold, back to gold, without success there. And then I went to another spot, started getting some hits there with the rainbow trout super duper. Again, it's the this one right here that has rainbow trout colorings. Let's see. There's the rainbow trout color that I'm talking about right there. And then from there I got 2 of them with a retrieve where it was just a steady retrieve after I cast. And then the last 2 was more of a sinking, very slow, let it sink, and they were hitting it as it sank. And again, it was darker, so it was much tougher there. So Okay, before I sign off, I saw some other folks just joined. I was talking about today's fishing trip to our local pond, Bethany Lakes, and I was able to limit out after playing around with the pattern and whatnot. So with that, if you guys have any questions, I'll hold here for a little bit. Other than that, if you do have any, just definitely comment, and I'll definitely look at them and hopefully give you an answer. All right. All right. So with that, if you can make it to Bethany Lakes, you're in the local area, Allen, Texas, do give it a try. Suggest that you get there these next few days because that's usually when the best bite is. All right. Next time, we'll catch you all later. Good luck and good fishing.